Okay, I'm not going to demonstrate the full drawing for the electronics, but I'm going to give you a hint about how you might want to do it. And then you can take a look at this image and see if you'd like to do it this way. So I started out with a little array. I made a box that was 2.5 by 2.5. I thought that was an easy number for me to work with. And I made it 3 rows by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 columns. And I did it on the center layer, which I changed a little bit. I changed it to be a light blue and a very thin number. So I used color 141 and a line weight of 0.005, just so it would barely show up in the background. And that gave me something to sort of look at. And over here, you can see, here are my things that I used to make my blocks. I left them there in a state where I could change them if I had to remake a block because I did something wrong. Once I did that, I just started inserting things where I thought it went on the thing, and I started with the 4 resistors here. Let me show you how to do that, because when I drew my resistors, they were in a different direction. So I'm going to click on it, and then I can type R for rotate. And I don't know if it's plus 90 or minus 90. In this case, it won't matter. I'll rotate it 90 degrees. Enter. And now you see it comes in facing this way. Okay, let's see how I might have put in the connector jack. Insert connector jack. That was 1 click, and R for rotate. That's 180 degrees. I had to flip it along a half circle, and then I could put it into place. So a lot of these were just flipping to get them into the right orientation. Once I had my 4 resistors, I put in my capacitor and my jack, and then I wanted my jacks to line up, so I just drew a line down. Okay, so that's a spare line, but that let me put that one in place. Oh, I see I'm missing a line here. That's not right. I should have a line there. Should be on the thick. And that gives me a chance to show you how I put in these dots. It's the donut command. It literally makes a donut. And the inside diameter is 0. And I think my outside diameter is 0.25 or 0.18 or 0.125. You can use something that you think looks good. I'll use 0.18 this time so that you can see sort of what the difference might look like. So that's a 0.18 and that's a 0.25. And you can use whichever one you want. Just be consistent about it. Now, the next thing is, how did I draw that little thing once I've got everything in there? That was a circle. And you can make that also 0.18 or 0.12. And then it's just the trim command. Trim away what you don't want. And that signifies that those wires are not connected where they cross. They're just wires passing each other. Okay, so there's a couple of those. So you'll see this doesn't look exactly like the one that you're working it from, but electronically it is the same. Okay, things connect up in the same fashion, the same manner, but this was a little easier for me to work with. Okay, because everything was on a grid. And then I could place some stuff where I thought it looked pretty useful. This one, notice I placed the endpoint right up against this line. Okay, and then I drew this one back here. So that's how a lot of these go. Okay. So that's the donut command. It's the circle command with a lot of trim. I made an array. Now, I put these electrical people usually put their text right in the same model space. So I did too. This is just a piece of text. And I'm pretty sure I made that text 1/4 inch tall. That's my 1/4 inch tall, left justified. This one is also 1/4 inch tall, but they don't really have a subscript. So I had to make a new piece of text. So this is 2 pieces of text. V is one piece. Out is another piece. And the out I made 1/8 tall. And this one is 2 pieces of text. Okay. Now you'll put in the text. You should not show your dimensions. So I'm going to really quickly put those on my center layer. So you don't want to show any of this, and you don't want to show this in your final drawing. So I brought in from my design center, my architectural B, and let's see if I can remember what to do. I'm going to go to layout. Actually, the first thing I'm going to do is go on to my def points layer and then go to layout and put in a rectangular viewport. And this usually does not have a scale, so I'm just going to scale it something that looks like everything will fit okay. Okay, that's cool. And now there's one other really cool thing that I want to show you. This is new for you. When I go into my model here, I can go to my layers and I can, on my center layer, it's right next to the lock, there's one called freeze or thaw in current viewport. So that's going to freeze it and it goes away in this viewport. Whoop. I better lock my viewport too. And look, I can still see it over here as my reference when I come over to check out my drawing. Now remember, for your drawing, you need to put in all the rest of the text. If you want to make it 0.18 tall instead of 0.25 because you think it fits better, that's okay. I'm missing something here too, I see. So I'll have to go back to my original drawing and see. It's supposed to come down to that line. There's lots of things on this drawing that you can take some real care about. And that one's going to get a donut. Zero by 0.18. I'll put it right there. So this has a lot of stuff in it, but it doesn't take too much to get these blocks in there. Then it's just a bunch of work putting in your text and showing it on your layout. All right, there you go. That is the basics of how to draw the electronics drawing using blocks.